Okay, I think, are we ready to start, Lindsay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so good evening, everyone, and welcome to our first online session with Steve Woods, golf performance hypnotist. So this should be quite interesting. I don't think any of us have done this before, so we'll see what happens. And if you can help me with my yips from my little chips from off the green, then I'm all for this. So that should be good fun. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Simon Crawley. I'm the general manager at Golf Planet Holidays and colleague of Nigel's. And I've been working in the golf holiday business for over 20 years now, and been very fortunate to play a lot of the resorts and golf courses around the world, including the picture behind me, which is a fantastic Ernie Els Teluk Datai course in Langkawi, Malaysia, which is one of my favourite destinations. And judging by my appearance on Zoom with the virtual background, it looks like I'm ready to be beamed up there straight away. So as soon as I can, I'm there. We just wanted to say a quick thank you for joining us this evening, and also to say thank you for your business over the years. As an independent, smaller golf tour operator, we really value your bookings and the business you bring us and your recommendations. It's really important to us, and we hope that we look after you and can organise some more trips for next year. I think it goes without saying that this year's been a really difficult year for most of us, particularly in the holiday business and the hospitality business. But despite that, we still managed to get a few people away. As Robbie knows, he's out there in sunny, well, not quite sunny now, but warm Fuerteventura. So I hope you enjoyed that. It's good to get away. The weather here is atrocious, so you're sure to be on a winner there. So I'm going to pass you over to Steve in just one moment. But after Steve's session, Nigel, our very own golf PGA professional, would like to say a few words and just tell you about a couple of really good escorted trips that we've got planned for next year and beyond. So anyway, without further ado, I hope this is good. I hope you enjoy it. Let's relax, and I'll pass you over to Steve. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you very much, Simon. And of course, it's going to be good and enjoy it. So good evening, everybody. My name is Steve Woods. I'm a hypnotist. Thank you very much for coming along. Really quickly about me and our plan for this evening. So, I mean, there is a plan. It tends not to go to plan because I tend to let things go with the flow, and we'll see what we get. But there is a plan to talk about hypnosis, talk about how it works with golf and why it's beneficial. But more than anything else, probably the main bit you're here for is to actually do something. So we're actually going to get you to close your eyes tonight and to sit quietly and do some of this work, and you'll get some benefit from it. Some will get amazing benefits, some might just get little bits of benefit, but the idea is to give you some benefit from spending time here because we appreciate you coming along. A little bit of housekeeping. I think everyone's muted at the minute. I was going to make sure that everyone's muted when we do the eyes closed bit. Also, ideally, if you can have your video on, particularly when we do the eyes closed bit, just so that I can see everybody and make sure everybody's comfortable. You never get stuck in hypnosis. It's impossible to actually get stuck in hypnosis. And I build in extra work around if there is a connection issue or if anything happens where you are that you need to deal with. So you can be quite comfortable in the fact that if anything happens while you've got your eyes closed, you're going to be aware and alert, and I'll explain a bit more about that in a moment. It's great to be working with Golf Planet. Looking forward to continuing with this. Looking forward to be doing some more of these. So please want some good feedback at the end. And I've said that while you're not in the hypnosis, just so you notice. So I'm not planting that as a hypnotic suggestion, although I might do when we get to that bit. Okay, so quickly about me. I've been doing this 16 years. Started off working very much in the therapeutic side of things. I did do some training in stage hypnosis, but I don't do the stage entertainment work. But I learned stage hypnosis because I wanted to work with groups of people, and I wanted to have that confidence to be able to literally work with volunteers, to work with groups, to work with individuals in any situation. Worked my way through the therapeutic side of things. Done sort of the smoking, the weight loss, the things that you'd expect, and I still do those now because I get lots of referrals for those from past clients. But over the years, got involved with working with some golfers and had really good results with them. And then last year, made the decision to get more involved in that side of things. I think everyone who plays golf, every golfer will agree that golf is played in the head, it's played in the mind before anywhere else. I know that I can work with a golfer literally before they go out and play, and they will play differently. And I think I went through that exercise of finding things that float my boat that I enjoy doing, and golf and sport in general as well. But golf came out on top because it feeds me. I enjoy working in that arena. Now I'm working with groups, I'm working with individuals, and I support charity golf days as well, which I really enjoy because that is the opportunity to work with small groups, with individuals, or even big groups. The last one was 40 people stood in the field, which worked quite well. And then they went out and played and noticed the difference from that. The thing about standing up actually probably starts to lead me into what is hypnosis, because I've shifted things around a bit in the way that I'd normally talk about it, but it's a great opportunity to say that hypnosis isn't about being out of it. Hypnosis isn't about being unconscious or unaware. Let's say that last group of golfers, there was 40 of them, and we couldn't move furniture because of COVID, couldn't go indoors because of COVID, and everybody on the golf day wanted to do it. So they said, well, can you do it with us all standing up? Yes, because hypnosis isn't a fragile process. Hypnosis is actually a really high focus. The initial focus, and you've discovered today, is on relaxation, but then the focus turns into whatever it is that we're actually working on. And today it's general golf, really, because you're all going to be different golfers at different levels. You're all going to have different specific areas that you want to work on. So it's no good me just talking about putting, although putting tends to be a popular subject. It'll be an opportunity today for you to focus on the area of golf that you would like to work on. So that's thrown my talk out a little bit, but we'll talk a little bit more about the hypnosis. So people often talk about being in two minds about things. Yeah, wish I could put better, but part of me pauses, part of me holds back for some reason, or wish I could lose some weight, but part of me loves cream cakes. Those sort of things. We often talk about our thought process as being in parts. It's actually in multiple parts, but it's good to think of it as being two parts. So part of the mind is the conscious mind, part of the mind is the subconscious mind. Conscious mind is the filter. Conscious mind is the bit that only lets in certain things. If somebody came to me, and I won't use golf now, I'll talk about something different. If somebody comes along to me and goes, oh, Steve, I need to be a really good public speaker. I've got to do a speech at a wedding or a business thing. And I say to them, oh, just close your eyes, imagine it going really well and you'll be fine. The conscious mind, the filter, it will go ping and never even get in. Because the conscious mind, just as some of you are probably sitting here tonight going, how's this going to work? How can that work? How can just imagining doing something different make a difference? And that's the job of the conscious mind. It's the doubter, it's the thinker, it's the bit that sometimes is self-critical. The other part of the mind, the bit that we're interested in, is the subconscious part, as I mentioned. And I don't know why, but I always think of the conscious mind as being flat, this wall, and the subconscious as being a ball. I've got to remember to put my hands in front of the camera as I'm doing this. The subconscious mind is the doer. The subconscious mind is the bit that just gets on and does things. I don't know whether you all drive or whether you've driven, but when we learn to drive, an hour's driving lesson seems to last a lifetime, that first lesson, because we're thinking and concentrating, and we're making all those little tiny corrections on the steering wheel, and we're doing it at a conscious level. We're actually having to think about it for the camber of the road or whatever it might be the reason why, or just those general little corrections. That's done at the conscious level. We're exhausted. After a few lessons, though, we don't really think about it anymore. We're making those natural corrections without any thought. That's where our subconscious mind has now learned to do that thing. And so then we can drive for hours without thinking. I remember being a kid watching my dad driving, thinking, wow, how much skill is that? All those little tiny movements on the steering wheel all the time, and thinking, he must be so concentrated on it. Little did I know that he's not really thinking about it at all. He's singing along to the radio, and yes, he's watching out for hazards, hopefully, and things like that. So subconscious mind. When we're walking, we don't think about all the muscles. If I think, oh my goodness, this presentation is going terrible, I need to run off, and I run to the door or walk to the door quickly, I don't think about every footstep. I don't think about all the muscles. That happens at the subconscious level. I notice where the door handle is and reach out to grab it. Yes, I think about that. If the floor was wet and slippy, I'd be worried about why my house is wet and slippy, but also then I engage the conscious mind more, because I want to make sure that I'm safe. I want to make sure that I'm not slipping, or I'm not tripping over something. So the conscious mind can sometimes get involved. When we play golf, we're using both parts of our mind. If you overthink things, you're in the conscious level, the bit that's critical, the bit that's going, can I do this? Can I really make it? Oh, last time I did this, I ended up in the water, ended up in a bunker. Then the conscious mind's too involved. One of the things early on when I started doing a lot more work with golfers, somebody came to me, somebody I knew, and they said, I play much better when I'm hungover. Now, can't really prescribe that as an idea. I see a few people smiling there. I can't really prescribe that as a way of playing better golf, because it's probably not the healthiest way of doing it. But he sort of illustrated the fact that if he felt a bit rough and wasn't really thinking too much about it, he was actually making use of what his subconscious mind had learned. So he wasn't thinking about the swing, but the swing was suddenly working okay. And that's where, as I say, the subconscious mind gets involved. Or if you distract it, the subconscious mind gets involved. So naturally, we go into hypnosis, just keep an eye on the time, naturally go into hypnosis a few times in the day. We go into hypnosis when we're distracted. We go into hypnosis when we're emotional. And that's often where fears and phobias might get embedded when we're emotional, particularly as a child. People say things to us if we're upset. That goes in deep into the subconscious, because our conscious mind is busy dealing with the emotion. When we're falling asleep, which is quite interesting, you go through a stage where quite often, some of you might have noticed, you sort of laid there, you can't really move, you don't feel as though you can move, but you've still got thoughts going on. That's the point where your conscious mind is fallen asleep and the subconscious is still active. And some people use, reason it's worth talking about, some people use repetitive learning or affirmations at that point as well. So if you're trying to learn a language, which might be quite relevant when we talk about holidays in the future, it's a great time to do that. It's no good listening to an audio book. You'll never remember where you got up to when you fell asleep. But for repetitive stuff, you can have it playing at the side of the bed. Bad news is that it doesn't work for everybody, because some of us, like me apparently, it's about 4 seconds before I'm snoring. So, but for some of us, I can see people pointing and thinking, yeah, oh yeah, that's me. But for some of us, it's like 30, 40 minutes. So that's also a natural state of hypnosis. And of course, when somebody sits down to actually put you into hypnosis. Why is this good for golf? I've sort of alluded to that really in some ways. Our subconscious mind doesn't care whether we're remembering something, whether we're imagining something in the future. And I always think of my timeline as left to right, but you can see however you like, or whether it's happening right now. If I asked you to think about something that made you happy right now, chances are you'd get a little bit of a feeling for it, a little bit of, oh yeah, I remember that time, or a funny joke, or a comedian, whatever it might be. And the same as if I asked you to imagine something at the opposite end. And that's still being filtered at that stage by the conscious mind. Once you get into the subconscious mind, you get into that inner part of your mind. That's the part of your mind that when you imagine something that makes you happy, or something that makes you relaxed, a nice place, then it really starts to feel as though you're there. It really starts to feel as though you're in that happy experience. And then your body starts to give off the happy hormones. You might start smiling even when you're doing that deep imagination. And you really feel that that's there. The other thing is that without the doubting conscious mind, you can change that experience. So you can actually make it even better than it was. So not only have you got enhanced sensors, you can actually change it and make it even better. So it means that you can, under hypnosis, imagine playing a great golf game. And again, at the moment, your conscious mind's going, what is just going to get me to pretend to play great golf and it's going to go in? Yes, once you're in that state where you are accessing, not me, you are accessing your subconscious mind, that's the point where you can, yes, you can draw on memories. So some of what I'll talk about today will be, remember a time when you did a great shot, a great putt, a great game, or just a great hole, whatever it might be, because again, you'll all be different points. You might imagine those and then draw them into the future and use those to model playing your next great game. When we think about something, when we go to play golf or when we go to do that public speaking thing, the way that we feel about it is based on the most recent experiences and repetitive experiences in particular. So if I've had a bad experience playing golf, let's say a particular part of my game, I've had some trouble with, and it's gone on in my mind, I've been thinking about it a lot. When I come to that point in the game, I'm going to think about that. And guess what? I'm going to attract that because I'm releasing those chemicals again around that thought, whether it's a bit of anxiety or nerves or humiliation, whatever it might be, or just that worry. I'm going to start to think about it. If I'm thinking about that water that I always drop into over there, then guess what? There's a good chance I'm going to drop into it because I'm thinking about that. When you go to play golf after you've done some work with your mindset, the most recent memory is, oh wow, yeah, last time I was here, this went brilliantly. Last time I played, this went brilliantly. And it changes your whole mindset. Now, sometimes individually we use a thing called an anchor as well. So if somebody's got a particular thing that they need to work on, I might get them to anchor that to something in particular. It might be a movement. Sometimes it's, you might see somebody playing and as part of their pre-shot routine, they might, I'm trying to think of something that's not an embarrassing thing, tap the back of their glove 3 times or something like that. You might see as well, if you're watching TV and there's people standing and giving speeches, then you might see them. I'm amazed by the number of cats who's got watching. People are going to be hypnotizing cats. So you might see, I don't want to mention Donald Trump, but Donald Trump, you see him doing a little action with his finger and thumb sometimes. You don't always see it because he hides it away, but occasionally you see it. He's had training in this sort of work and public speaking. So he's anchored it, or they've anchored it to an action of a finger and thumb grip. So you can create an action to holding your club or getting the club out the bag or just setting up at the ball. And then you can make use of those things. But for today, because we're in a group situation, this is going to be all about actually generally enjoying your golf. So what we're going to do today in a few minutes, I'm going to ask you to sit comfortably. As I say, ideally getting your videos on. I appreciate you might not be able to, and that's fine, but it's great if I can see people. I'm going to get you to sit comfortably. I'm going to get you to close your eyes and to follow my instructions. Normally I ask people, if I'm working with one-to-ones, I'll ask them how they imagine it's going to feel to be hypnotized. I ask them how they imagine I'm going to hypnotize them, which is always interesting answers. I can't tell you beforehand how you're going to feel to be hypnotized. You might just feel a bit relaxed. You might feel a bit heavy. You might feel a little bit floaty. But I'm aiming for you to notice a difference. And I will get you to open your eyes briefly and to notice how it feels. You don't need to talk to me, but just getting you to open your eyes and notice how it feels. That way, by getting a difference going on, your mind becomes more involved in it. So it's following my instructions. As I mentioned at the very beginning, really, hypnosis doesn't have to be relaxing, but today we're going after relaxation. Generally, we expect that feeling of being nice and relaxed and hypnotized. You don't, if I said to you all, okay, stand up now, I'm going to hypnotize you, you probably feel a bit cheated. So I'm going to talk you through nice head to toe type relaxation, some counting, some breathing, all the things that I think most of us would expect from relaxation. I haven't asked the question how many people have done this before, so we're just going to go ahead anyway. My belief is that everybody can be hypnotized. Some people take longer than others, absolutely. But so long as people want to do this, then you'll get something from this. You'll get something from this experience. Okay. Dare ask, I will ask, anybody got any questions, any concerns they must ask before we start? And then we'll get on and do something. Let's see if everybody's managing to get the cameras on as well while we're, I think everyone's still muted, which is good. Okay, so nobody shouted up, so brilliant. So let's just get you sitting comfortably, as comfortably as you can where you are, ideally with your feet flat on the floor, hands just resting on your legs, just so you're nice and balanced. Brilliant, and then when you're ready, closing your eyes. Okay, so just want you to start to think about all the little tiny muscles that are in your cheeks, those muscles around your eyes, imagining those muscles relaxing. Now you might do this by tensing them up and then letting them go. You might just imagine them soft and wobbly and relaxed. There's no wrong way for you to do this. Whatever way you do this is absolutely right for you. It's not a fragile process. It's just imagining those muscles relaxing, your eyelids relaxing, your eyelids getting nice and heavy, nice and lazy, nice and relaxed. Eyelids getting so heavy, so relaxed that you don't want to, but even if you wanted to, that you just wouldn't be able to open your eyes. Just taking that feeling from behind your eyes, letting it move up over your forehead, up over the top of your head, down the back of your head, down into your neck and your shoulders. It's a wonderful warm band of relaxation, relaxing every nerve, every muscle, every fiber as it goes. Every deep breath, every firm beat of your heart now, just helping to slow things down as you allow that feeling to continue to move from your neck and your shoulders, moving down through your arms. It's like a warm band of relaxation moving down through your arms, all the way down into your lower arms, all the way down to your hands and to your fingers. That same feeling continuing down through the center of your body. Every nerve, every muscle, every fiber is becoming relaxed and lazy and limp. Right down through the center of your body. Just letting this move all the way down. Down and into your legs. That band of relaxation moving down through your legs. All the way down into your lower legs. All the way down into your feet. And from your feet, just letting that feeling escape into the floor. And just, you might notice another wave of relaxation head to toe. Just following it down. Starting to think about now a wonderful place, a perfect place. This place can be somewhere real, somewhere imaginary, somewhere you've been to, somewhere you'd like to go to. It's your special place. Just allow your mind to give you the first place, whatever it suggests first, even if it's not consciously where you think you might like to be. Whatever your mind gives you, that inner part of your mind gives you, go with that place. And start to be in that place. Start to be looking around. It might be golf related, it might not. That's fine. It doesn't have to be at this stage. But be in that place, looking around, starting to notice the detail. Doesn't matter if it's not too detailed at first, it will get better, it will get clearer. Doesn't matter as well if your conscious mind wanders to other thoughts, just as it might do in any conversation. Because you will just draw it back and it will come back. Each time it comes back, it'll come back with more focus, able to stay focused for longer. Minutes in your place feel like hours. As you start to notice the textures, the things that you're in contact with, whether you're sitting or standing or laying down in that place, or things you can reach out and touch. Noticing the temperature, it's perfect. It's your perfect place. Even noticing the sounds and the smells, everything about it. As you just let go. Never losing control, never giving up awareness. Safe in the knowledge that if there's anything urgent that you need to deal with where you are, that you'll become aware and alert and able to deal with it instantly. If there's a problem with the internet, again, you'll become aware and alert and able to reconnect or to wait for me to reconnect, whichever needs to happen. But right now, I'm going to count down from 10 down to 1. Just letting your mind just run with this as each number down just lets you step a level deeper, lets you sink a level deeper, whatever that level is for you today, into nice deep relaxation, into nice deep hypnosis. If you've done hypnosis or meditation before, your mind will be able to follow that as well. Starting at 10 and feeling that step down to 9, stepping down to 8. Every nerve and muscle and fiber is limp, loose and lazy. Stepping down to 7 and 6. Still in that wonderful place, that perfect place. Just sinking down deeper and deeper down. Stepping down to 5 and 4. as every out breath lets you sink just that little bit deeper into the chair as the chair gets softer and softer, more and more comfortable. Down to 3 and 2. And all the way down to 1. Wonderfully, deeply relaxed, calm, comfortable, settled. You might notice a heaviness physically in your arms or your legs. You might notice a floaty feeling. Everyone experiences this that little bit different. You will notice that calm and relaxation, though, from your special place, from just sitting here quietly, noticing maybe a clarity in your mind, a clear thought process, and able to stay focused. In a moment, I'm going to count up to 3, and on the count of 3, you'll be able to open your eyes. You'll stay relaxed, you'll stay hypnotized just for a few moments. I just want you just to notice how you feel. We can talk about it at the end in any detail, but it's really just for you to notice. As I say, you might notice a heaviness. You might just feel relaxed. That's fine as well. So 1, 2, 3, you can open your eyes. Okay, so just getting you now just to notice how you feel. You might, as I say, feel different. You might feel the same. That's fine as well. I just feel a little bit relaxed, and that's okay. So just taking a moment to notice that, and then let's get you back there and getting you to close your eyes again. That'll make sense in a minute or two. So just closing your eyes down now, literally able to step back into that nice place, just as if you were stepping into a room, but feeling that nice, relaxed feeling, that nice, calm feeling as things settle down. As your mind is learning how to do this, just getting you to notice a difference in the way that you feel. It's enough for your mind to get engaged even more, to let you get into this nice, relaxed time. As I talked about earlier on, the subconscious mind, the inner part of the mind, the part of your mind now that's doing this imagination work in your place or remembering it, doesn't care whether you're remembering it, doesn't care whether you're imagining it, doesn't care whether it's happening right now. As far as it's concerned, it's a real experience right now. But also you can make that experience exactly how you want it to be. So right now you can move forward in time. You can think about these next few days or weeks or months when you're going to play golf. But this time you have control over it. This time you can also draw on all your experience. You can draw on the lessons that you've had. You can draw on those times when you've made those most amazing shots, those days where you've gone, wow, everything went right today. Or just that one shot went right. But find yourself, be yourself in that near future. I don't know when you're going to be playing golf next. Might be this weekend for some of you, might be a little while. Doesn't matter, because all you need to do is just project yourself into that future. It's literally stepping, just like you stepped into your place, it's now stepping onto the golf course. It can be playing any hole that you like, playing any course that you like. Might have somewhere you play regularly. Might have somewhere that you've played once before and would love to get back to. Doesn't matter, as long as you're there, as long as you're having that experience. But right now, it's under your control. You might think about a particular area of your game that you want to work on. That's fine. Take yourself to that point in the game. And then when you get there, just pausing for a moment and then let it run forward. Let it run forward in the right way for you. As I say, capturing maybe a time when you made that particular type of shot and it went really well. Remember how that felt. Remember how it looked. It might be that you're thinking about your pre-shot routine is quite common in what I do. Sometimes we feel under pressure to do it quickly because there's people behind, there's people watching me, there's people waiting. Actually, slow it down. Take your time and do what you want to do to get it right. Visualization of the shot itself. Again, a lot of golfers don't spend enough time doing that because, again, we feel rushed, we feel under pressure. There's another 4-ball behind us. They're catching us up. There's players in my own group. Slow it down. Feel confident to slow it down. It's your shot. It's not about taking forever. It's about taking maybe that little bit more time to visualize the shot, visualize where it's going. If you're on the green and you put in, think about that, think about the hole drawing the ball into it. almost like a black hole in space, almost like an amazing magnet. All these things will draw your attention to success. They'll draw your attention to the ball going where you want it to go. Not always about the distance in the drive. It can be more about the accuracy. Again, you go to wherever you want to go to. You've all got different games. You're all playing in different places. You're all right at this moment in a different position in your play. If something doesn't go quite right, pause it, rewind it, and let it go again. You might spend some time watching yourself. Like you see the videos of the swing and everything. You might be on the driving range. That's fine as well. But step out and watch yourself play. Step out and watch you. But notice that you may be playing differently. Notice actually that you're smiling and enjoying being there. And notice that the shot that you're taking is going where you want it to go. And we want to be positive, of course, but of course there are times when things don't go quite to plan. You might be trying some new techniques. You might be pushing the boundaries a little bit and improving your skill. It might just be the weather or something lets you down at that moment and the ball doesn't go quite where you want it to go to. Worst thing we can do then is let that bother us. But right now you can start to think about that next shot as a reset. All these little techniques will all sink into your subconscious mind. Some will stick, some will work, some will be quite specific to your game. But when something doesn't go quite to plan, being able to get to the ball, to set up for that next shot and feel as though it's that first shot of the day. Reset the way that you think. Yes, you might analyze it later. You might think about what went wrong and what you can do differently. But by only dropping that one shot rather than a series of shots, you'll keep your score at the right level. Whether you play for fun, whether you play competitively, whatever the reason is that you play. Because all of these things help you to enjoy what you're doing. Help you to come off the course feeling good rather than that frustration. And repetition is king. So don't worry about now for these last few minutes while you maybe think about some specific area that you've already worked on. Go back there and do it again. Run through your game again, focusing on places where you want to work, where you feel as though you might need some improvement. Or you could just be absolutely enjoying the most amazing game. That's fine as well. Being yourself or watching yourself in that future time. Playing your game at its best. Taking the little areas that you want to think about and work on them. Wherever you are on the course, whatever hole you're on, whatever part of that hole you're on, doesn't matter. Enjoy being there. Allow yourself. Give yourself permission right now to enjoy it. Give yourself permission to take this information, to take this skill, to take these memories, because that's what you're doing. You're creating these memories for something that hasn't happened yet. To take those memories and to let them be yours as you move forward. Might sound strange, but next time you go to play, your mind's most recent experience of golf is today. The way that you feel when you get to the course is based on today. And just getting you to play that little bit better will mean that that memory sticks and it gets better and better. If you take away just one change in your play today, then your mind will be engaged with it. It will keep working on it and keep it there. It doesn't wear off. Yes, you can add to it and improve it. Of course you can. This is a whistle-stop tour around all the different parts of the game. Running your way through the game, dropping in and out of whatever hole you want to work on, whatever shot you want to work on. Or you say could be on the range, could be just on the practice green, wherever you want to be. You could be repeating the same particular shot that you want to work on or type of shot. There is no wrong way for you to do this. All you need to do is just let it work in the right way for you. Visualize it, see the shot, take the shot, go through your routine. Don't shortcut your pre-shot routine. Make sure that it's exactly right for you. Calm and comfortable and confident. Allowing yourself to be there. Giving yourself permission right now to let this happen. To feel good about your game. And to be okay with that reset if anything doesn't go quite to plan. To learn from it, but wait until afterwards. Reset in that moment, get to the next shot, reset, first shot of the day feeling. Covering lots of ground here, but this will go in. Your inner mind will remember all of this. Your subconscious mind remembers everything. Every experience that we have, we create little connections in our brain. Every little nanosecond. So right now, your mind is running through your game. It's enjoying your game. You can grab those feelings. You can make those feelings yours. You can almost hook them into you and step back into your place and bring them with you. And take just a moment or two to let yourself upgrade, to let yourself just take on all those new feelings. Those feelings, maybe it's excitement, maybe it's happiness, maybe it's competitive feeling. It doesn't matter. Whatever you're feeling from those experiences, just take a moment to let every cell of your body upgrade to that change. And knowing that that change will take place, knowing that you will feel very different when you play next in a positive way. And then just being in that wonderful place, that perfect place. Just for a few moments, just to let all that settle down and just to enjoy a little bit of calm, a little bit of tranquility. Though for many golfers, their place is often a golf course. That's fine as well. Calm and comfortable and confident. And then in a moment or two, I'm going to count from 1 to 5 this time. On the count of 5, and only on the count of 5, you'll smile, you'll stretch, you'll open your eyes, becoming fully wide awake, fully alert, feeling really good, feeling really well. You'll feel as though you've just had a really good sleep. Not been to sleep just yet, though. You've only been relaxed, you've only been hypnotized. When you do go to bed to sleep at the appropriate time, you'll sleep deeply, calmly, and soundly, only needing to wake if there's an emergency or anything else that you need to deal with. Otherwise, waking at the appropriate time, feeling really good, feeling really well, and ready to face the day. Remember everything about this hypnosis session, bringing back the calm, the relaxation, bringing back the background energy recharge from being in your wonderful place for what feels like hours today. Conscious mind remembers as much as it would do from any conversation. Subconscious mind, though, remembers every moment of the experience. And generally you feel good, you'll feel better than you felt for some time. Confident and knowing that there's some changes taking place in that mindset around your game the next time you play. Generally feeling really good, really energized. So 1, feel a little less relaxed. 2, feeling a surge of energy now through your body, whole body becoming energized as that energy level builds up. 3, take a deep, deep breath of cool, clear mountain air. Filling your lungs with that life-giving oxygen. 4, feel cool, clear mountain spring water wash the backs of your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your throat. Your chest clear, your stomach's clear, and your head's clear. Your nose, your mouth, and throat's clear. Your eyes are bright and shiny. And 5, wakey, wakey, wide awake. Okay. I think Nigel's fallen asleep. Oh, there he is. Okay, welcome back, everybody. I think that's everybody back and eyes open. Don't know what happened to Anthony there. I think his phone fell over or something more, whatever device he's using. There was a sudden flash of something, so hopefully we'll see him in a minute. Oh, there we go. There he is. Okay, so that's a taster of what I do. It's quite vague with it. I generally work quite vague with it because you're the expert. You're the expert in the room on the golf. You are the golfer. I've just worked with a tennis player. I know nothing about tennis. Well, I do. I know a little bit about tennis, as much as you see on the TV. But he was the expert. I just worked with somebody on their horse riding. They were the expert on that. Again, I know nothing about competitive horse riding. So the idea is to get you to do what you can do at your best and take everything you know, everything you've learned, And somebody said to me the other day, you know, they said, oh, you do this, but I can get lessons for this. And I said, yeah, but what I do differently is I get you to also go back and get all the other lessons that you've had, so you can really accelerate what you're doing, really make use of everything that you know, because we do forget stuff. We get that information fade. So that's the experience. That's a little bit about it. That's sort of bringing things to a close from my side of things. Just really quickly, I'll be open for some questions in a minute as well. But so a couple of things we'll send out to you. I'll send over to Golf Planet. Send out. There are some vouchers available for Christmas. So if you've got people going, what can I get for Christmas? Might be an idea. Tell me, you know, however you've enjoyed this experience. It'd be great to get some feedback as well. I didn't put into the session, it will always be positive feedback, so it'll be genuine feedback. And then the other side of it is, if there is any interest in doing any of this, there is a free 30-minute consultation as well. So it's all online, costs you nothing to come along, have half an hour. Normally it would include doing what we've just done for 10 minutes. Don't need to do that bit. It's just a case of having a conversation about whether or not I can help you with what you want to achieve. And whether or not we can work together, because it is a two-way thing. And sometimes I do send people away and say, no, I can't help them for various reasons. So really, it's open to any questions. Observations are always good as well. Again, as long as they're positive. So yeah, you feel free to unmute yourselves. You should be able to unmute yourselves. If not, we can unmute you if you wave your hands in the air. Yeah, open to any questions, please. If there's no questions, I've either done a really good job or you're all still hypnotized. Come on, Rob, you've unmuted. You must have a question.
Yeah, I haven't got a question, but I feel very relaxed. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Good.
Yeah,
excellent.
it's like meditation exercise.
Yeah, very similar. Very similar.
I was on one of the greens putting, and I think I fell asleep. I don't know if the ball went in the hole or not, but it was okay.
Yes, always. The only thing with group stuff is, particularly if we're doing it in an evening as well, and you must have, you got a little bit of time difference there or not?
No, it's the same. It's 10 to 8.
Yeah, it's down a lot. Yeah, okay. So, but even then, it's still evening time. So sometimes, yeah, we do get people drifting off. And again, one-to-one, you can keep an eye on that. But of course, in a group, there's not much I can do. I've got to try and watch people as best I can. But yeah, and even if you go lightly to sleep, actually your subconscious is still listening. Like I said,
I was still listening to you. Yeah, I was really deep down. It was very nice. Very relaxing.
Excellent. But yeah, you mentioned about meditation. Quite often it's a question. People say, what's the difference between meditation and hypnosis? And there isn't a lot really. To me, hypnosis is quicker. But the meditation, I do meditation. I like meditation. But I've got meditation on my phone that I've never done because it's an hour and a half long. But I know that I can do hypnosis in 5 minutes, 10 minutes and get some results. I think for me, that's the difference between it. And similar to mindfulness, people ask me about mindfulness. And a lot of what I do is about mindfulness, really, because mindfulness is about being aware. And so you're aware of that moment. You're aware of whatever you're working on.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks for the feedback, Rob. Anybody else? Any questions or any feedback?
Steve, so as I mentioned earlier, I really have those who've played golf with me, I'm sure Alex and Nigel will know, I really get the yips from around the green. So when I practice in the garden, I get, 8 out of 10 little chip shots. So keep my head down, don't keep looking up, and nice little swing. But put me on a golf course, not necessarily any pressure with the score, but just around the green. I'm kind of either visualizing I'm going to thin it and it's going to go flying through, or I duff the little chip, and it's just so frustrating. So where do I need to put myself following the session we've just done now? How do I just relax and just see the perfect shot and execute it?
I think Simon, you said it. You visualize a shot going a particular way, and that's the problem. You're focusing on the shot going wrong rather than the shot going right, and we do. I don't know whether I dare mention the word shanks, but I got a client last year who believed that they'd caught the shanks. No one would play with them because they didn't want to catch it, and it was so ingrained in his head that nearly every time he took a shot, it was happening. It was off to the right, and it was in a mess. He was all set to give up but what was happening was that's all he was thinking about. So he was thinking about this shot, and everyone would turn their back on him, which didn't help because they didn't want to see it either, because they didn't want him to get it into their head. And so it was turning that. There was two things. We had to turn around the focus, so the focus is on a good shot, but also actually it's okay if it goes wrong. and just resetting. And last I heard from him, he says, I still get them occasionally. I just don't worry about them. I just go to where the ball's landed and take the next shot as if it's the fresh shot. And he's getting better all the time. And he needs technical help essentially with it, which I don't do. But I've managed to shift his mindset. So they say it's rather than getting to the green, and of course what will happen is at the moment you'll get there and that's the first thing you're thinking about, thinking, oh, it's almost like you're dreading probably to get there because the rest of the game's going well, and then you get to the green, you think, oh, here we go again. And having that mindset, of course, just draws your attention to the negatives. And it's hard consciously, because again, you've got that conscious mind going, but how can just trying to think differently change anything? I know that this happens, and that's where deeper work around the hypnosis will get you to. Hypnosis is so automatic, because it's that automatic part of the mind. When it goes in, when it's working, you're not even thinking about it. When it's working, you'd play a hole, and then you'd go to tee up at the next hole, and you think, oh, hang on a minute, I've just finished that hole, and I never had any of those thoughts. I just got on and did what I needed to do. That's when it's working, because then there's no conscious thought whatsoever. You're not out of it. You're not playing in a trance or anything, but you're just getting on and doing it. So consciously, the hard bit is to shift that focus to actually going, no, this is going to go right. And if it does go wrong, I'll learn from it and feel okay to carry on taking that put. So yeah, it's as I say, it's quite hard to do it consciously. There's no doubt about it. It's terrible use of language. I'm big on language, but that is a terrible use of language, because I shouldn't say that. But realistically, it is, because you're working at a conscious level at the minute. So yeah, deeper work in hypnosis, deeper work in visualization would get you thinking differently about putting. That makes sense. That was a very long answer, wasn't it? Sorry.
Can I just say something, James?
Certainly.
I enjoyed it. It was very relaxing. I'm looking forward to going to the driving range tomorrow, because I feel definitely more confident than I would have done before this hour started. And I'm now still in my mind visualizing good shots, not thinking about technique as to where my hands are at the top of my backswing and so on. I can actually sort of focus on that contact where the club hits the ball and the follow through sees the ball. And I look up, and instead of looking where the ball's gone, I look up straight, and funnily enough, hit the ball straight ahead. Brilliant.
Yeah,
Enjoyed it. I've got to go now. So I just want to say thank everybody for that. Enjoyed it, and look forward to any feedback from you. Thanks.
Thank you, James. Thank you for coming.
Thanks, James.
Any other? What time are we on? 10 to. Any other questions? Any
I've got an appointment at the restaurant in 10 minutes, so I have to go, James, as well.
We're not jealous at all, Rob.
No, I just the Rioja's breathing, so I have to leave before it runs out.
I'm very
nice.
jealous.
Very nice to listen to you. Enjoyed the session. See you guys. All the
Cheers,
best.
Cheers.
Cheers now. Bye.
Okay, if there's no more questions for me, that's me done really. As I say, we'll send out a couple of bits of information, but I think it was going to be over to Nigel to talk about a few things at the end now.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. That was very interesting. Hi, I'm for those of you here, I'm Nigel Birch. I've been a PGA member for 40 years, and like everybody else listening here, I'm sure you've all had golf lessons in your time, but that one was certainly different. And you know, it's amazing this mind thing, because it doesn't matter how many lessons you have, you think you cure what you're trying to cure, but in your mind you haven't. And Steve, what he's talked about today, it's been really interesting in the fact that the mind game is better than taking a golf lesson. Basically, it's so strong, the mind, and it can change you completely. You know, and this is why top touring pros, they all go, you know, and go this way. You know, their swings are so honed now and sweet, they only need a small adjustment or something. But this is more important than anything else. Very interesting. I've played, you know, golf all over the world, and the European Tour and South African Tour, and I've coached on both tours as well. So I know what it's like trying to keep up with trends, and you know, especially you know, this element of the game, keeping up with the Joneses. It's like Tiger Woods, you know, when he first came on tour, he brought the gym to the tour. Nobody else was going to the gym. Nobody else was doing strength exercises. But Tiger took the game to another level. He took it up there and so everybody had to copy him because he took the game further. And of course, he won everything. And now sort of people have caught up. You look at guys like Brooks Koepka, even Justin Rose, you know, they're all doing strength exercises to keep up with everybody. And this part of the game is very similar. So, you know, all the top players, they relate to everything. It's like keeping up with the Joneses. Very interesting. Yeah, I've got some sort of a couple of things I want to just chat about golf-wise, and things that we're doing at Golf Planet Holidays. We're trying to, you know, sort of bring in some new areas into our brochure. And for those of you who haven't got our brochure, please give us a call. We'll send one out to you. But we've got some hosted tours planned this year, and believe it or not, 2022 already. We've got trips going to the Baltic states, which is a sort of emerging market. I took a group out there last August to Lithuania and the Vilnius resort there, which is absolutely fantastic golf course. The guys lost about 200 balls, but that didn't distract the element of them having a great time. And also Estonia, a course there called Pärnu Bay, way up there in Estonia, and we're proposing a trip in August, a week trip, playing both these courses, flights into Tallinn, flights to Vilnius, and then back to UK. So we'll be sending that out to you very shortly. And following the success of our South African trip earlier this year, my word, it seems like it was like 2 years ago because the year has been so long. It was in March, we took a trip to Cape Town, took 20 people, and we had to cut it off at that amount. So our trip in 2022 is going to be very similar down to Cape Town, and we're also going to do one to Durban and the courses around Durban as well. So, which is some fantastic golf courses. Durban Country Club, one of the best in the world. Places like the Wild Coast further south. But it's just an adventure and a great spot to go and play golf in the winter time. So if you're interested in doing that in 2022, I'd suggest you get your names down quick because it will fill up. It will fill up. I think from my point of view, I just wanted to introduce myself, say hello, and I'm sure I've spoken to a lot of you over the phone and dealt with you, but nice to see you all. And thanks very much for attending tonight. I'll hand you back to our host. Or am I finished?
I think we're probably done now, unless there's anything from anyone else. But yeah, so we'll send out some information. Some feedback would be great. Any feedback is most welcome as well when we circulate some information out to you guys.